For a long time, there has been a dramatic increase of violence in Guantanamo Bay ever since FEMBOYS were forced to leave by the Bush administration. The prisoners of war and terrorists have started acting out as they no longer have any way to release all of their built-up stress and tension that they have. It is believed that the reason why they no longer behave like civilized human beings is because they cannot relax like normal human beings, which is why they have developed into the horrible human beings which they are. With the help that FEMBOYS used to provide, their behavior improved a lot. However, since they do not have access to FEMBOYS like they used to before the Bush administration, their behavior has become violent, aggressive, and they have even started to express peasant-like behavior, which is why we need to bring back FEMBOYS to the prisoners of Guantanamo Bay. Now, one might be wondering how FEMBOYS help with rehabilitation, and especially with rehabilitation from the worst type of people which currently exist in our society. The answer to that is quite simple. FEMBOYS are able to provide services which others cannot do in the same way. They have wandered the earth for many millennia and become experts in stress relief and other services which have helped develop our society into what it has become today. Our world would be completely different if they would not have helped our great leaders release their inner tensions. FEMBOYS have mastered the ways in order to service great men, such as Robert E. Lee, Saddam Hussein, Joseph Goebbels, Leif GW Persson, and Big Jeff. These services have helped so many others and could eventually become the solution to world peace, and therefore it would only make sense by starting off with rehabilitating the worst people on earth. Besides that, the prisoners would in turn help by providing nutrition for the FEMBOYS. Well, you might not know this, but FEMBOYS are quite complicated when it comes to their survival. Their options are quite scarce and hard to come by when it comes to their nutrition, especially in this current market which we live in today. FEMBOYS need a special kind of nutrition which is currently impossible to manufacture in a factory or a laboratory. FEMBOYS need a special kind of liquid to survive, and this liquid can only be produced by strong, courageous, and brave men. In order to obtain this liquid from these kinds of men, FEMBOYS would release a lot of their stress and tension, as well as getting the nutrition that they need in order to survive. However, this would solve a lot of problems. But the problem that might occur is that people might be wondering where these FEMBOYS will come from, since there is a limited amount of FEMBOYS who are currently walking on Earth. And how is the remaining amount of FEMBOYS supposed to last to the rest of the world? And what would the current world leaders do if they lost access to all the things, or to the only things that can help them relieve their stress? Which is a big problem and also quite complicated. Thankfully, there are currently a lot of FEMBOYS who have been working ever since the Singapore state decided to shut down Bugis Street. When they shut down this area of work, a lot of FEMBOYS who built their lives and reputation there migrated to other areas, and they also used to go by Billy Boys, but since their work area no longer existed, they had to change and adjust to the new society, so they started by going by FEMBOYS instead. Now, this shutdown by the Singaporean state has provided a lot more FEMBOYS to the world, and that is not the only thing that has helped expand the FEMBOY population. TikTok, a popular social media platform, has also helped a lot of youngsters realize that they are actually true FEMBOYs in their souls. This modern media platform have encouraged a lot of potential FEMBOYs to what they truly are. It has helped them realize who they are and where they belong in our society. So the Chinese company has truly benefited the FEMBOY community by turning a lot of youthful petite people into FEMBOYs, and therefore we will not have to worry about the amount of FEMBOYs running out anytime soon in our history, and our great leaders will not have to worry either, as they will have a pretty good supply for the next or at least a century coming next year, with a lot of petite FEMBOYs providing their services to them. And having FEMBOYs being allowed back into Guantanamo Bay would benefit society greatly, not only because it would help people with stress and tension relief from some of the less than beneficial people from society, it would also help with the nutrition for the FEMBOYs, which is almost impossible to harvest in any other way. And with all of these benefits, it will not harm the FEMBOY population in any way or cause any sort of harm. If anything, they would only benefit from it as well as the rest of the world would. This would not cause anything negative to happen, it would only improve the behavior from some of the worst people on this planet, as well as it would help with the malnutrition in the femboy community. And with all of that, there would still be more than plenty of femboys for the rest of the world to enjoy.